Hey everyone, we're back at the Staking Summit 2025 for another interview here in Argentina, in Buenos Aires. I'm joined by Marcin, co-founder at RedStone. Thanks a lot for joining us. Yeah, maybe to start with, I think it's the best for our viewers that might not know RedStone, is you give a brief rundown of what it is and what you guys do.
Yeah, hey everyone, good to be over here. Thanks for the invitation. Marcin, I'm co-founder at RedStone. We've been around since 2021 personally and been in crypto almost 10 years right now. As RedStone, we are builders first Oracle. So we support developers and creators in crypto and Web3 to achieve the potential they would like to get. We are a modular Oracle, meaning that whatever new technology is available on the market, we can integrate that into our product. To give you an example, when we were starting in 2021, we had only pull Oracle model, whereas right now we have both pull and push, and we also have Bolt, which is the fastest push Oracle on the market, which can cover in a moment a bit more deeply. We are used by over 170 clients, protect over $10 billion of value on chain, meaning that if Redstone has a mistake, $10 billion is at risk. So it's a big responsibility to make sure that we keep on delivering the accurate data feeds. And we also recently acquired a company called Fedora, which is the largest platform for DeFi ratings, meaning that we give a rating from D to A for specific DeFi strategies, which is increasingly important in this era that we have right now of DPEX and stablecoins failing, so that people understand the risks that are associated with specific strategies.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Maybe for the people who are not aware, can you just quickly explain what's pull and push in terms of Oracle?
Of course. So an Oracle is a system that delivers data feeds to blockchain applications, and there are various ways that you can deliver the data. Full Oracle means that the data is available off-chain, the accurate information, and then whenever a user is making a transaction with a specific part of the protocol, then the transaction triggers the update on-chain. You can imagine, for example, Gearbox is a protocol that uses Redstone Pool model. When you sign the transaction on your MetaMask, Gearbox would quickly call our off-chain component, fetch a signed data package, and attach it to your transaction call data.
Okay.
So you as a user deliver on-chain the transaction together with this data feed on-chain. And on-chain the verification of signature happens and then execution of the price feed. This model is very elegant and efficient, but it requires a bit more engineering work to implement. Therefore, the most popular model in crypto right now is Push Oracle, which is 90 to 95% of all DeFi, so it's predominant. In Push Oracles, you deliver the price from this off-chain component on-chain with something that is called relayer. So like a pusher, call it, that delivers it on-chain with specific time interval or deviation threshold.
Okay.
So with Redstone, we support both of those models.
Okay.
And with the Pull Oracle, we support over 110 chains. With Push Oracle, we have over 50 right now. So it's very comprehensive.
All right. Thanks. Thanks for the explanation. Very, very interesting, and I think very, very understandable from what you just explained. Now, the last year, I guess the big thing in crypto, or one of the big things, was Hyperliquid, right? Meteoric ascension, a lot of interest and a lot of people talking about it. And I know you guys are also involved, specifically with the latest proposal, the HIP3, right? Can you give us a little bit of a rundown of what you're doing there and what's the interest there?
Yeah, with pleasure. Hyperliquid is one of the hottest ecosystems right now in crypto, and it's a very efficient one with a lot of fees and interest from both retail and serious big whales for trading and exposure in the ecosystem. HIP3 allows anyone who has enough stake of Hype, the native token, to create a new market. Right now, as of today, we have 3 deployers of HIP3 markets. One is Unit, the other one is Felix, and the third one is Ventuals.
Yep.
For creation of a new HIP3 market, you need to choose an oracle that is going to deliver the price for the per market to operate efficiently. And as Redstone, we created a dedicated product called Hyperstone, which is an oracle that is specifically tailored for HIP3 deployers, because it's very different to create a new market with HIP3 purpose versus creating something on Ethereum or Solana. This is very much specific to the technology that Hyperliquid created. And right now we are already live with Felix with the first HIP3 market, which is Tesla stock. So right now, people can trade perps on Tesla that is protected by Hyperstone. So when the trades are executed, the price that dedicates what is the actual price of the stock is coming from Hyperstone.
Okay.
And as we are going to go broader into Hep3, we are going to see very big variants of assets that are going to be deployed, indexes, commodities, bonds, and so on and so forth. And for all of that, Hyperstone is like an oracle that will keep on delivering new and new pricing.
This Felix HIP3 DEX it's like 3 days old, right?
Yeah, like a couple of days.
Yeah, great. Is it going well?
Yeah, it's going fantastic. Like, honestly, it's going better than we expected. So the most we are asked by Felix to improve, enhance the caps for open interest. So they keep having the caps of open interest. When you deliver the price, you have to make sure that you understand the parameters for a perpetual market very well. So open interest, taker-maker fees, and everything that is related to the market. And then you do it like step by step gradually so that you don't have too much stress on the market and you eventually don't end up with any mispricing or misconfiguration, right? Because we've seen in the past with Hyperliquid, for example, with Jelly, like the fairly stressful situation for the ecosystem. Mm-hmm. And recently on another meme coin, it also happened that someone was trying to manipulate how the oracle behaves. So we have to be very, very careful on that.
No, I can imagine then being like responsible for such a big market, right? It's so very, very important that you are aware of all this, of course. Let's maybe change gears a little bit. So I like a couple of months ago, there was this blog post by Vitalik speaking of low-risk DeFi being like the search function of Google, right? I found it very interesting, but I don't fully grasp what he means by that. So maybe you can give me a little bit more of insight, because I know you are also interested in this low DeFi ecosystem. What do you make of it?
Yeah, that's a brilliant question. I think this is also bringing us to the two spectrums of crypto. In my view, on one spectrum, we have meme coins and perps markets. So essentially like leverage and playing the very volatile game to make sure that the potential wins are big, but the potential losses can also be very devastating. But finance in traditional sense is very wide in terms of the risk and return spectrum. So on the other side, you have the low risk, which means, for example, in TradFi, you can allocate into treasury bills or CLOs or other products that are at lower yield, but also very low risk related to that. And I believe the reason Vitalik brought it up is there is a room for both. We shouldn't forget for sure like the whole perps games, but we also should diversify the portfolio with something that is of a lower risk. Many of the times it means, for example, lending stablecoins on lending markets such as Morpho, Aave, Compound, and so on. It means looping strategies, but for assets that are very well established. So for example, looping of wrap stake ETH from Lido or WE from EtherFi. So I wouldn't say there is a particular cutoff of what is the low risk and what is already a middle risk and high risk. It's a bit more subjective, but it's just like a movement to showcase like things that are potentially boring are important to also implement for a longer scale so that you diversify your portfolio properly. And in that regard, we acquired Credora, which allows to rate those strategies. So imagine you have two strategies on Morpho. One is yielding 10% and the other one is yielding 20%. If that's the only vertical you have, for sure you're going to go
for the 20%.
I mean, natural. That's how word works. Yeah. But then with Credora, we can rate both of those strategies. And the first strategy is going to get A-, and the other strategy is going to get C.
Yeah, of course.
And with both of them, you can go on a toggle and understand why C is designated. And for example, for this product, imagine that the transparency is non-existent. So you deposit assets into specific strategy, into synthetic stablecoin or some other type of DeFi product. And then you have very little transparency where those assets are actually going to generate the yield. So that's the reason it, of course, lowers the rating for that one. Which doesn't mean that no one should deposit there. It just means that the user is more informed that, okay, this one can be tricky, and you're exposed to some higher standard of risk.
Yeah, I think in DeFi, this is very important to understand that having a higher risk doesn't mean it's a bad product. It just means that you need to be aware of the risks, right? Because, of course, if you see a higher APR or APY, whatever, there is a reason for that, right? As long as you're aware and you know what you're doing, it's fine. And I guess I understand what you're saying about the low risk being like the catalyst, because it generates a lot of volume, right? It generates a lot of institutional players coming in, which kind of funds the degen stuff and the more creative stuff, I would say. So that's pretty interesting topic.
There has to be a balance, and I can give you a particular example. Recently, we saw XUSD from Stream Finance explode, like essentially go bankrupt. There was also DUSD from Elixir that was kind of like an aftermath of XUSD, and there was also USDX, that is Stable Labs, also that blew up. All of them would get probably fairly lower rating than a stable coin such as Ethereum or some other that is already larger and has very high transparency standard in the source.
Yeah. All right. No, great topic. But let's change gears once again, because I've heard you guys are partnering with MegaETH and Monad, right? Can you tell us a little bit about what the partnership entails?
Of course. So MegaETH is one of the most expected launches of 2025. The guys are pushing the boundaries of efficiency in terms of the speed of the network. It's an L2 that optimizes for efficiency and the block time and the transaction throughput. Essentially, when they are going to launch mainnet, our new product that is called RedStone Bolt is going to be available there. Right now on testnet, it's used by all the protocols out there. For example, Euphoria, that is creating very interesting tapping game for choosing where ETH price is going to go. If you haven't seen it on Twitter, recently there was a video with almost 3 million views. So I highly recommend to check out Euphoria and see like how it works. And this is powered by Redstone. There's Avon, GTE, Valhalla, and plenty other like players that are going to launch on MegaETH. Bolt allows the push oracle. So again, as I was explaining, push, we deliver the data on chain, so it's more convenient for the builders. And we deliver it every single block of MegaETH, meaning that if the blocks are produced, for example, every 10 milliseconds, we hit every single one.
Oh, wow.
So if we hit every 10 milliseconds, you can quickly calculate how many there is a second, right? So 1 second has 1,000 milliseconds. Yeah. So we are hitting the blockchain 100 times a second. So it's very, very fast. Like it's that fast that it's very hard to comprehend for for the human brain. But in TradFi, it happened already a couple of years ago. There's a book called Flash Boys that tells about that, like about guys that were putting fiber optic cable under a mountain to get a direct connection with the stock exchange so that they are ahead of the other traders for milliseconds. And it doesn't matter how faster you are, it just matters that you are faster.
1 bit faster.
Exactly, like millisecond or even nanosecond faster, then it's always the strongest.
Run, right?
So both MegaETH and Monad decided to choose RedStone Bolt specifically as their launch partner to support like the broad portfolio of DeFi apps that are going to launch over there. And we are going to bring those new use cases that were not present in other ecosystems because of this high throughput, millisecond transaction like execution and so on and so forth.
All right, great. Thanks for that insight. And I guess to wrap it up, I've been asking all my guests like more of a broader question because I know a lot of you guys are building like on the edge of this industry, right? A lot of infrastructure. So I want to have a perspective from all of you. Like, what do you believe is coming next for like next year or two? What do you think is going to be the next big thing in the Web3 space that's coming? So,
deep question. I like those. Well, as RedStone, we are the fastest growing oracle on the market right now. And the way you measure an oracle the most efficiently is by its robustness. So since the inception, RedStone had 0 mispricing or downtime events, which cannot be said for other players in the market. For us, throughout the next 2 years, we want to keep that record so that we gather this Lindy effect so on. And that effect is going to be tremendously important for institutions. Because for institutions, if they are to interact with on-chain environments, they need to have something that is solid for many years. For crypto bros, 3 months is already like a lifetime of period. For financial institutions, 5 years is a short period, right? So only now with Ethereum having 10 years of, like mainnet, they look at it and they say, okay, that's proven, right? Like it's proven. It's past the test of time in a sense. And in the next 2 years, I expect a lot of fintechs to interact with crypto rails. Mm-hmm. My bold thesis is that within 3 to 4 years, we are not going to have fintech companies anymore. All of them are going to be crypto companies. Okay. Because the ones that will just keep on the fintech rails, not exposed to crypto rails, will be losing market. Yeah. And that's the reason Revolut, Robinhood, Stripe, all of the giants that are creating like the financial rails of the future are investing very heavily into crypto. And we as RedStone, as the base infrastructure that delivers the data, and data is the new oil, we want to be there to support them. And again, this reliability. So when they will be choosing the provider, they will look not on the new Oracle that is like 3 months old. They're going to look at the Oracle that has been over there for years, and that's been the most reliable on the market. So this is like the way we see everything expand. And then the last bit is going to be those ratings. Because as we are going to get more mainstream people, those ratings are going to help them navigate where to allocate the money. Because they are not going to be crypto DJs that can efficiently assess the risk associated.
Yeah.
They are going to be just like, okay, this is A+, okay, this is probably safe, let's go, tap, right? And I believe as we go with those fintechs, all the blockchain complexities are going to be abstracted away. Like, no seed phrase for the user. Of course, you can if you want, but for a regular person that doesn't want to deal with it, you are going to interact with the blockchain rails, but everything is going to be in the UX that is very familiar for you and very simple, like literally just tapping and seeing very simple comments.
Abstracting these complexities that we care about, but my grandmothers care about.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. No, really nice insights into the future. Again, I appreciate you joining us for this interview. I don't know if you want to end by telling people where they can find you and know more about the RedStone. So if you want,
of course. Yeah, so myself, I'm at Twitter with Marcin RedStone. That's my handle. And RedStone_DeFi and Credora Networks are our profiles. I'm also active on LinkedIn and other social media. Give us a follow. We also have a token that is called Red that is used for securing the ecosystem of RedStone providers. We launched in March. It's live on Binance, Abbott, Coinbase, and all the other exchanges. And as we progress further, our goal is to ensure that the on-chain finance is simply better than the traditional finance system that we have today. And we empower builders to do so with the most accurate data and very efficient DeFi ratings. Thanks a lot for having me over here.
Thanks, Marcin, again, and see you guys next time.